Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Crimson and in this video we are going to be covering part 2 of my third art book haul. So just one quick thing I wanted to say just before we get into the books itself. I apologize for any background noise of my PC. I am currently rendering a video at the moment, so my PC is kind of being very loud, so I do apologize if that is a bit disturbing in terms of audio. But with that out of the way, let us get straight into the art book haul. So the first book is the Dragon's Dogma official design works. Dragon's Dogma is one of my favorite games of all time. It is a extremely underrated game in my opinion, especially the first game. The second game was a lot better in terms of quality of life stuff, but personally I still prefer the first Dragon's Dogma. This book is for the first Dragon's Dogma game, and it covers a bunch of sketches and artwork of the different enemies, characters, and monsters, as well as giving some little lore tidbits and kind of developer notes on it, which is really cool. The only downside about this book, and not this isn't to do with the book itself, but this is to do with the book that I ended up buying, is because this book goes for quite a lot, I ended up having to buy a used copy. So as you can see, there's kind of a little bit of damage at the top here, but that's about it. Otherwise, I absolutely am so glad to have this book, and I will definitely be covering this soon, as I adore Dragon's Dogma, like I said. The next book is a book that is another one of my Grail books, similar to Metal Gear Solid 5, and is a book that I honestly never thought I would be able to own due to both its price and its rarity in terms of finding a copy. And that is the art of Wolfenstein: The New Order. Wolfenstein: The New Order is one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time. It is such a good game. The New Colossus is, I'm semi-mixed about it, but this book just covers the New Order. So I did have a little bit of a peek through this book, which I usually do not do prior to covering the books. And the artwork and stuff in this is so good. So again, I am super excited to cover this book, and yeah, the reason I never thought I would be able to own this is this book usually goes for about €300 new, and that's if you're even able to find a copy of it. I managed to get this copy for about €200, which is still quite a lot for an art book, but in my opinion it was well worth it. Next up, we have The Art of Ghost in the Shell. Now, a couple of things about this book. Ghost in the Shell is one of my favorite animes of all time. Both the movies and the standalone complex anime series. However, this book is actually more to do with the live-action film. So this is the first film art book that I've actually ever bought. It still covers quite a lot of the concepts and especially the technology of the series, but it does also lean into some of the artwork and art design of the film itself. So I am also planning on buying the standalone complex art book, which is fully based on the show, the movies, and the manga. But I just thought that this book plus the anime art book would be a really good series to cover. It has this really nice embossed kind of textured cover, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm really glad that I got this, and I think it's cool that this is kind of my first film art book. I'm not sure if I'm going to be covering that many film art books on the channel, but yeah, this is definitely one that I'm glad to have. Next up is The Last of Us Artbook. So The Last of Us, or at least the first Last of Us, is one of my favorite story games of all time. The kinds of games that I like to play are all single-player, story-focused games. So The Last of Us, the first game anyway, was right up my alley. I am not a big fan of the second game. The gameplay in it is fine, but the story is very disappointing in my opinion. However, this book is so good. I have actually already recorded the series for this book, and as someone who is a fan of concept art in art books, this book is beyond expectations. The amount of concept art in this book is extraordinary. So we'll just flip it over. There's some art of one of the buildings being overtaken by nature, which is a big kind of theme for both this book and the game itself. But yeah, really good. And like I said, I have already recorded the series for this book, so expect to see this being uploaded sometime very soon. The next book is the Elden Ring Official Artbook Volume 1. In the first part of this video of my third art book haul, I showcased the second volume of the Elden Ring art book. The second volume of the book that I bought is the English version of the book. However, the first volume of the Elden Ring book that I was able to find on both Amazon UK, which is where I mainly buy most of my art books, as well as Amazon America, both had the English version of Volume 1 either completely out of stock or for resale for about €750, whereas the Japanese version went for the standard price of just €70. So despite this being the Japanese version, I know enough about Elden Ring to kind of know exactly what's what, despite not having the text labeling each section. So now that I have both volumes of this, I will be sure to start making these series. I did get a comment on one of my previous YouTube videos asking for me to do a showcase of the Elden Ring books, and now that I have volume 1, I will definitely be doing this. The Elden Ring book is going to be the next book I'm going to be recording. However, I'm not sure when it is going to be uploaded, because I have approximately 15 videos that I have yet to release that I have recorded. So really excited to do this. I adore Elden Ring. It's not my favorite From Software game, but it is absolutely one of the best video games ever made, in my opinion. Next, we have The Art of Dishonored 2. So, this is a book that I had been wanting to get for a while. I originally wanted to see if I could find an art book for Dishonored 1 as well. However, that does not exist. There is a book called, I believe it's called the Dunwall Archives, but that isn't really an art book. It's more of like a lore book with a couple of illustrations and sketches, whereas this is a full-on art book for Dishonored 2. I know a lot of people actually do not like the second Dishonored game, which I don't get. I fully love Dishonored 2. And like all these kinds of games, I always play them completely non-lethal, non-detection. So, yeah, really excited to cover this book as well. Next up, we have The Art of Deus Ex Universe. So this book covers both Mankind Divided and Human Revolution. The Deus Ex series is a series that I really like. The first Deus Ex is one of the best games ever made, in my opinion. And the newer games, for all the flaws that some people say they have, and I do agree they definitely do have their flaws, are really, really good in my opinion. I particularly like Mankind Divided, as that was actually my entry point into the Deus Ex series. So yeah, really cool book. This book was actually extremely cheap, despite very few copies being available. This book only cost €10, which is insane for such a good art book. And it's not a small art book by any means, if you can see the width of the book. So, yeah. Okay, so next up we have an art book that is actually one of my personal grails. I never thought I would actually be able to own this based on it going for quite a lot secondhand. However, I managed to find a very good deal on a bid that I just so happened to win on eBay. And that book is The Art of Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this is the standalone art book. There is a little art book that comes with the collector's edition, whereas this is the full fledged art book for the entire game. So this is really, really cool. I really like the yellow cover on it and the Hanya mask and everything. It covers everything from, concept art to weapons to characters to factions, and yeah, it's so cool, and I couldn't help myself. I did actually have a look through of this book before, when it arrived, which I usually don't do. I usually try and save my new books for going through them for the first time with you guys. But yeah, super, super cool. I'm so glad to have this, and I am really, really excited to share this with you guys. And for the final art book in this haul is The Art of Halo Infinite. Let me just zoom out a little bit, sorry. So this is the full version of the Halo Infinite art book. One of my first videos, I actually think it might have been my first ever video, was going through the miniature art book that came with the Legendary Edition of Halo Infinite. That little art book that covers some of the same art in here, but it maybe has 20 pages maximum, whereas this is a full-fledged art book. So this completes my Halo art books. So I have the art book for every Halo game that actually has an art book. I have the Halo 3 one, the Art of Building Worlds, which we've already covered, the Halo 4, the Halo 5, and now Halo Infinite. Unfortunately, there is not a Halo 2 art book, which is an absolute tragedy, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to covering this. I'm going to try and cover these books in kind of chronological order, so this will probably be the final Halo art book that I cover. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to go through this. As you guys know, I am a die-hard Halo fan, to put it lightly. So to be able to both own this book and cover it on the channel for you guys is something I am so, so happy about. So that is going to be it for this video. As the title says, this is the second part of my third art book haul. I probably won't be doing another art book haul for quite a while. With this art book haul, I probably bought, I believe it was about 15 to 17 art books altogether, which is insane. There's a few other art books that I have my eye on, but I don't want to buy any more until I cover much, much more on the channel. So thank you guys very much for watching. I know this is kind of a shorter video. I just really wanted to show you guys my new art books. So thank you so much for watching, but I just want to give a quick shout out to my 2 Patreons. So thank you Slice of Life for Life, and thank you Mary the Otaku. Your patronage means the world to me. And also for everyone else, your viewership and constant watch of my channel also means the world to me. Just having you guys view this stuff is all I need. I don't need subscribers or likes. I just like knowing that other art book fans find this channel interesting, at least. So I won't go on too much longer. Again, thank you so much for watching. My name has been Crimson, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good evening.